And I started thinking, and it's been such a long day. It's been a roller coaster every day, I'm not gonna lie. And I was just thinking and thinking like I usually do because I think a lot. But, you know, I realized that through the confusion in the moment and through the moments that we can't help but ask why, that we feel lost and confused, it's part of God's purpose and it's part of his plan for our lives. And although we don't understand, and we can't lose that hope. I feel like I can't lose that hope that one day everything's gonna make sense. One day I'm gonna look back and everything's gonna make sense. And even if it doesn't, like, I'm gonna worship him, and I'm gonna learn to just trust him through and I'm gonna learn to trust him through the storm, through the cloudiness of life. Because I know that one day everything's gonna be made clear, that after the storm comes because the calm comes after the storm. And I realize that through the storms, if there's a storm during the day, the sun is still there. It's still shining, even though we can't see it, and even though we can't see the sun through the clouds, it's still there and it's still shining. And in that same way, God is there. We can't see him, and we think we can't feel him, but he's there in our darkest hours. And I've learned that through the hardest times, we may think God wasn't there. He's not there, but the truth is that he's carrying us in that. It's like that poem. I know it's called Footprints, I believe, and it's this man that was walking along a beach, and he saw that through a lot of moments there was two sets of footprints, and he noticed though that in his darkest hours, like it was like a timeline of his life, and in the darkest hours he noticed that there was just one set of footprints. And in that moment he asked God, like, hey, like, I've noticed that you were walking with me, and in my hardest times, like, where were you? Like, I just saw one set of footprints. So the whole time he's thinking that those one set of footprints is just his, and that God left him in his hard times. But then God answers, and he tells him, when you saw that there was so God tells him, when you saw that there was only one set of footprints, it wasn't that it was you alone. It's that in that moment I carried you. And it just hit me so hard. And it always gets me because it's true. We sometimes think God leaves us in the moments that we just can't do it anymore. But the reality is that he's always there. He's carrying us through the worst moments in our lives, and all we have to do is trust. And although right now you may be confused and you have no idea what's going to happen, just trust him. And you have to keep going. I mean, when we chose to follow God, it didn't mean that everything was going to be perfect and great, and it didn't mean that. And I'm sorry if I burst some bubbles, but it's true, you know what I mean? When we accept Christ, we accept him knowing that through the hard times, like, he's going to be there, that it's going to be hard. And in life, hard times do come, you know what I mean? Sometimes low funds, or someone passes away, or someone stops loving us, or we lose this and that, and it's going to happen. But because it happens and it exists in our life doesn't mean that we can't be happy, that we can't keep going, because we hold on to this truth that this world is passing by, and what really matters is heaven. What really matters is that one day we're all going to die, and we're going to go to Judgment Day, and that's when, whether I need to hide my car or not because I couldn't pay that bill that month, you know what I mean? Like, we all go through it, but nothing's going to matter anymore. We're just going to be happy and in peace. And it's so crazy, like, how God uses certain things or people to speak to you. And I heard this preaching, and it just opened up my eyes. It really gave me hope to keep going. And one thing that really, like, caught my attention was that she was saying that God chose to die on the cross for us. He chose to go through the pain and everything he went through he went through it for our sins. And he did it willingly, wanting to, because he loved us. And honestly, that alone it made me realize that that's all I need to keep going. That someone in all his glory and all his power chose to die for me. And it just made me break down, and, you know what, just thank God that even though right now everything's confusing, I just thanked him, and I told him, you know what, it's your will and not my own. So whoever's watching this, I need you to watch it, and for those of you that are annoyed, I'm sorry, but just know that God has a purpose and a plan for you, and you have to keep going through the storm. You have to hold on to that hope that one day we're going to make it back home, and none of this is going to matter. So keep fighting, keep praying, and keep hoping. Don't let the devil deceive you. Don't let him deceive you by telling you that this is it, that it's over, because it's not. As long as there's life, there's a hope, there's a chance. So God bless you all, and I hope you all have a good night. And I'm sorry for all the videos, but hopefully I'll start a YouTube channel. But I hope it was a blessing.